visa. So, Carrie, if you
Yeah.
could go to in Roll20, click on the gear icon in the upper right corner for My Settings, and change your display name to your character name.
Okay.
That way, people that are watching can start to be able to identify people's voice with their character.
Hey.
All right, and our stream is live. So let me see if we
Out of
are.
curiosity, are you controlling the wyvern, or
Um,
are we just saying he's there?
I think I created something for the wyvern. Hold on here. He's kind of too large to leave out. Let me find the wyvern.
That's why I wasn't sure if you were in control of his unit or anything.
I think I put him under your control when I created him. Let me find him again.
Yeah, because I just clicked on characters and it only showed me. That's why.
Right. There we go. Malum's wyvern.
I am really thinking about taking the beat and mounted combat for having.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and click on the wyvern and see if you can move him.
I don't see the main back screen is black. I see.
Okay, so you need to scroll down, scroll all the way down, and then scroll all the way to the right. Might help to zoom out a little bit.
There it is. I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, this map is quite huge.
Yep, I can move him.
Sweet. So where we, first, anybody who's viewing, welcome to the Prince of the Apocalypse live stream. We are a D&D group from Troutdale, Oregon. We usually play in a shop called Going Gaming, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been forced to go online, and I have decided that we will continue playing. And in order to help the shop shelter through this pandemic, the shop has had to close pretty much everything. All of their D&D games have been shut down. All their Magic the Gathering games are shut down. They're not able to have the shop open for sales. The only thing they're able to do is the Grub and Grog is still delivering food, and they'll deliver games and beer too. But we're trying to help them weather through this. So we have a GoFundMe set up. If you scroll down in your Twitch stream, you'll see a link to the Help Save Going Gaming GoFundMe. We realize that everybody is under a financial strain right now, so any minor amount that you can give would be fantastic. And if not, then please stick around and enjoy the show. We also have a couple of friends down at the bottom of the Twitch page as well. There's Talon and Claw. They are purveyors of wood products. They make a beautiful set of Dungeon Master screens and dice trays, and they've started breaking into wooden dice. Right now they have a sale that is, I believe, 10% off everything on their Etsy store. So go ahead and check them out. And the other partner we have down there is the Gilded Archive, and she makes beautiful hand-stitched and hand-painted leather covers for the core rulebooks. And she also has a line of polyhedral dice leather bracelets with the dice actually stamped out on them. And one of the popular ones right now is the rainbow dice, and then she has another one that she's just recently come out with where she's using metallic paints. So yeah, go ahead and check out the Gilded Archive. She does beautiful work. So where we left off last week, our group has been in the Temple of the Black Earth, and they have moved into this lower section after going into a room and successfully calming down 3 bullet mounts that the Black Earth cultists are using. They were tied up in room number 9 here, and they were able to tame them and use them to jump across this chasm that splits the temple in half. And they are standing at the bottom part of this room, and to the west is a set of double doors. What would you guys like to do?
I can't see anything. Do you guys see?
Scroll all the way down to the bottom and scroll all the way to the right.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Who are the people who are typically up front of our shield body?
Yeah, whoever feels like it.
Well,
Always back. That's all you need to remember.
yeah, Malum is usually up front because he is a fighter rogue, and he has a wyvern mount that has been following him around.
South is going to take us back to
The Temple of the Crushing Wave. Yeah,
yeah.
This passage number 11 down here actually travels underground for about 10 miles to the... Well, actually, it's not 10 miles. It's probably about 3 miles, and it goes back to the Temple of the Crushing Wave. And over the Temple of the Crushing Wave is on the surface is a keep called Riverguard Keep. And these guys have gone into Riverguard Keep and cleaned it out of all of its cultists and the Lord Commander, who was a werebore, and they took it over. So they now have the Riverguard Keep as their stronghold.
Are we going to barge in, or are we going to try and sneak around the side?
I think you worked pretty well last week.
Yeah, that's true. The only way to sneak is by the chasm, though, so that's seems like a hazard.
We can open the door, Sneaky.
It's true. Does anybody else have any trouble seeing past the door, or is that on purpose?
That's on purpose.
Okay, alright. We didn't see it last week, but I haven't remembered what it was like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I've implemented Fog of War, and I've implemented the Game Master Lair, so that I went through and I populated this entire dungeon. And so the reason for using Fog of War is that I don't want you guys to be able to see things like secret doors and things like that. So that Fog of War fixes that problem. And then I have monsters are on the map that you can't see, and I can announce their presence at any given time.
I will go up to the door and do a perception check for the...
Okay. Go ahead and make go ahead and both of you make your perception checks. Okay.
I got 10.
Nice. So you come to a tunnel that runs north and south. Both ends of the tunnel have collapsed, but the west wall has a set of double doors with a crude message painted on them in common. The message on the south door reads, Norb's Rum, keep out OWT, Brug. The north door says, Brug's Rum, Norb is stupid, IZSTOOPID. Malum, what'd you get for your perception check?
10.
Wow. So Dubisa, you listen at the door, and inside you can hear the sound of conversation between two people. What languages does Dubisa speak?
I have never had to answer that question, so let me see. Just common and halfling and thieves can't.
Okay. So this is being spoken in a crude language, and you can't really understand it, but there's clearly two people in here. Sun Moon, you creak the door open. Dum-ba-dum. Crumbling masonry, huge uncured pelts, and heaps of picked-over bones and refuse fill this large room. It looks like it used to be a kitchen or bakery. Huge ancient brick ovens stand in the middle of the chamber, although most are crumbling heaps of red rubble by now. Standing in the middle of all of this is an Eaton. So, Sun Moon and Malum, well, no, just Sun Moon, because you stealth the door open. Make a deception check.
$16.
So this Eaton looks up at you and he says, in very crude comment, he goes, "You go away, cultists, leave Brugnorb alone."
Can I have a beer?
No, rum belongs to Brugnorb. Or no, he says, one head says, no, the rum belongs to Brug, and Norb, like, headbutts the other head, says, no, rum Norb's.
Can I buy rum from Norb?
Ew. Make a persuasion check.
Riddle to confuse this thing? Or would it just make it angry?
Maybe it'll fight with itself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The two heads seem to consider your proposition, and finally, the head that is named Brug kind of looks sideways at the head named Norb, and then looks at you and goes, "No, Brugnorb keep rum all to self. Maybe Brugnorb take your stuff too."
I'll go full TSA scanner, arms up. I got nothing you can take.
Wow. Make a persuasion check. Okay.
Clever so far, so that's not a guarantee.
Norb sideways looks at Brug and goes, "Think that halfling go good with baked bread."
Rude.
Just say what everyone's thinking.
And Brug says, "Halfling go good basted in rum."
There are worse ways to go.
And Brugnorb reaches down and pulls up a Morning Star. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh.
22.
Nice.
Okay, hold on here. Did Dubisa really get a 6?
Yes.
Wow.
What is that?
That's
unusual.
That is unusual. Sun Moon, what'd you get? 15?
Yes, 15.
And Malum?
22.
And Onomatopoeia? A 5. Is it a 5? Okay. And Zarm.
15.
Nice. So between Zarm and Sun Moon, which one of you guys wants to go first?
I would normally just charge in, so if Zarm has a plan to lay out, I'd listen.
Yes, I'd like you to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that way the halfling doesn't screw up with your area of effect spells.
Oh, you have area effect spells?
Well, I mean, he's a sorcerer, so.
Right.
He's new.
Yes, Kerry is new. He will be playing Zarm Zerai, our tiefling sorcerer. I don't know, Kerry, do you have a background for Zarm, or?
No, I did not have time to go.
All right, that's perfectly acceptable. So, Malum, what would you like to do?
Now that I know that, I will hold off and I'll hold my aid.
All right. Well, you seem like you're afraid of fireballs. What's going on? Okay, so you're going to hold your action.
Yep.
Brugnord's not. Neither head is really that smart. They're clever in a stupid kind of way. So he. So Brignorb is armed both with a battle axe and with a morning star. I should almost make one head a cleric.
One cleric, one wizard.
Yes. And he moves that far and is basically going to hold his action to attack the first person that walks through those doors. Zam, what would you like to do? Or Zarm, sorry.
And move forward. Who's the person right in front of me?
That would be Dubisa.
What type of character is that?
She's a assassin rogue.
Okay, I will be touching with enhancement of it.
Did you get consent?
I'm literally, you can go over me. I'll
Yeah.
duck.
Yeah. Does yelling surprise still negate the need for consent, or?
Okay, you're going to get Bear's Endurance, which the target has advantage on Constitution checks and gains a 2d6 temporary hit point.
Nice.
Nice.
1 hour.
So go ahead and roll your 2d6 temporary hit points and see. Let's see how many she gets. Oh, nice. 9.
Sorry, double click.
What's happening?
Twice.
So Dubisa gets 9 temporary hit points.
So, Chris, I'm still having a hard time with audio, which probably means it's outsmarting me. But like, for some speakers, I'm getting a huge amount of feedback, so I have to mute them. And then for some people, I can barely hear them.
Okay, so
is there? Can you walk everyone through the correct audio
So
settings?
the first thing that everybody should do is in Roll20, in the upper right-hand corner, click on the gear icon for My Settings, and then scroll down until you get to the video plus audio chat options. And what I would recommend doing, down towards the bottom where it says I want to broadcast to others, change that to video only, because we're not using the audio at all.
Awesome.
And then,
I think that'll help.
yes, if everybody does that, that should help alleviate part of that problem. And then if you're having, if some people are quiet, like I noticed that Zarm is a little bit quiet. So if you go into Discord, and at the bottom on the left-hand side, you'll have a gear icon for user settings. If you go to your user settings and go to voice and video, you can raise your input volume. I currently have mine at 80%.
Mine is full up.
Okay.
You should also be able to choose audio for each individual person. So like if somebody comes out real loud, you can select them and turn them down.
Right.
Ooh, that's cool.
By right-clicking on their Discord ID.
Yeah, I can't hear Sunmoon at all anymore.
Oh. I'm not muted.
No, I can hear him.
Yeah,
So you might
that's
just,
why it must be on my end.
yeah, you
That's why
might just right-click on him and try turning his volume up and see what happens there.
Okay. I apologize for slowing the action, but I just can't.
Yeah, let's fix it.
No, yeah, let's take care of any tech problem that we can.
Yeah, I had to reset it.
So if I-
Yeah.
Right-click on Jeffrey with a D and up my volume. Default might be about 50%. Check, check. Is that better?
No. I'll see if I can fix it on my end. It looks like you were set really low. Now can you try?
Hey.
Okay. For some reason, everyone else was set fine, and you were at 13%.
Weird.
So
Maybe last
that
time
helps.
you needed to drop me.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
So,
I was trying to coordinate which screens to mute and not, and all that is not working. Hey, okay. So I have 9 extra hit points.
You have 9 temporary hit points, and then let me take a look here.
You also have advantage on Constitution checks.
Nice.
Advantage on Constitution. Excellent.
All right.
Oh, Constitution. Okay.
Is there anything else that you wanted to do, Zarm?
No,
I wanted to do.
No, Zarm.
Sorry.
So, and then that makes it Sun Moon's turn. What would you like to do?
He's standing at the door, brazenly defiant.
Protecting his realm.
I will make a stealth check.
Okay. So you need to make your stealth check at disadvantage because he was looking right at you. You were the one he was addressing. Yeah.
Well, the 9 was a lower roll.
Yeah, so you're not fooling him. You know, pull one over on Brugnorb.
Well, I don't know that I'm not fooling him, so...
Brugnorb not stupid.
So I'll move there first.
Okay.
I'm only suspecting he has reach because I'm aware of large people, but I'm going to continue my move.
Okay.
And I'll punch him.
Go for it.
Get him.
Does the 12 hit?
It does.
The creature is an Eaton?
Yes.
2 hits?
Yep.
So 9 bludgeoning and stunning DC 16.
All right. He gets a 17 on his save.
Let's see. That leaves me with... What part of my action did the stealth check take?
I'm going to say, like... So technically that would have taken your action entirely, but I'm going to say it's going to take like half your movement.
Okay. Then I still have my bonus action to attack one more time.
Yes.
For another stunning strike, DC 16.
Yep. So how many points of damage? And he gets another 17.
Well, he's taking 16 total. And then I will, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can I move anymore?
So because he held an action to attack the first person who came through the door, he's going to hit you, or try to hit you once with his battle axe and once with his Morning Star.
That's what I thought at the door he might have hit me.
He doesn't have reach. 16, I don't think hits you.
Nope.
$19.
Nope.
All right. All right. Dubisa, what would you like to do?
I am going to run in and attack him. Or I'm going to run in and get to a corner.
Okay.
I'm going to say right there.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack him with my crossbow.
Go for it.
Nice. Except for the roll. Dead?
Except for the pesky roll.
So yeah, you miss. As your bonus action, did you want to rehide?
Yes, I do. And did it work?
So 17 stealth, yeah, he doesn't see you. You throw down smoke bomb and you're gone.
Like it.
Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
I'll go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt if possible.
I would say at this point the doors are probably open, or at least one of the doors is open. So, considering where Sun Moon was, this south door is closed. I don't think that you would have line of sight.
Oh, okay.
But you could easily move to outside the north door and fire off a guiding bolt. So basically, right there.
I think I'm gonna hide behind the south door, and I took a bottle of that alcohol earlier when we were in the distillery, and I'm gonna like roll it across the floor.
Okay.
Try to distract them because they're dumb and they like alcohol, right? So I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so I'm going to. How should I?
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that, but
What I will say is that will act as a help action because now Brugnorb obviously likes liquor. So make a persuasion check versus DC 15, and we'll see if we can give Malum a help action with that.
rolling says. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, so Malum, Onomatopoeia gives you the help action, so you get advantage on your attacks.
Nice, thank you.
Save the brandy.
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, it was pretty shitty brandy, so maybe don't save the brandy. Maybe light a match.
I thought we might end up lighting it on fire.
It smells like brake cleaner, so.
Probably right up Brugnar's alley. Right?
It's hand sanitizer.
And I'm just throwing it away.
Wasteful.
Yeah.
So, Malum, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna push the door open in front of me.
Okay. So now both doors are open.
I will take a step forward and attack him with my first attack.
Go for it.
$15.
That is a hit.
Nice. So these two.
And your sneak attack counts because he has Sun Moon within 5 feet of him.
Yeah. And also with my swashbuckler, unless he has if enemy is by himself, like no other enemies within 5 feet of him, I now get to apply it anyways.
Nice. Yeah, swashbucklers are pretty good for crowd control.
Radish Audacity? Radish Audacity?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
so, we're looking at 4, 9, 10, 18 damage on the first attack.
Yeah, that gets his attention. Go and make your second attack.
And I'm going to step over here to do my second attack.
Okay.
And since I attacked him, he can't make attacks of opportunity against me. So I will do my second attack.
Yeah, attack of opportunity really only happens if you leave combat and don't disengage.
Which now I can do anyways as
Right.
just as a bonus cunning action.
Right.
That'd be 13.
That's a hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the good thing about this guy, he's easy to hit. It sucks when he touches you, but he's easy to hit.
4, 12 damage.
Okay.
And then for my third attack,
Okay.
ooh, nat 20.
Oh, all applicable damage is doubled.
And I'll go and add a superiority dice to that
Okay.
for an extra D8 for precision attack.
Okay.
So 9, 18, 21, 42 damage.
Jesus. Yeah, fighters, man.
Fighter host.
Yeah.
And the wyvern will step in to the doorway and do his attack with his tail.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. Ooh, that's a shitty fucking 9.
No, that is a miss.
Ducking through that doorway, and that would be my turn.
All right. So Brugnorb's pretty pissed off about that.
I would imagine so.
He is going to make a battle axe attack on Sun Moon. So Norb is yelling out, Going to eat your bones.
Probably not.
Yeah, and he misses with a 19. Meanwhile, Brug swings the Morning Star at Malum. 21 to hit.
21 is my AC.
Yep.
Sadly.
For 20 points of piercing damage. And he yells out, I'm going to drink your blood.
I will parry part of that damage.
Yeah, I would hope.
At least get rid of 8 of that, so I only take 12 damage.
Alright.
Damn, that hurts.
Thank God for parry, right?
Right?
Zarm, what would you like to do?
Checking my last head.
Well, remember both doors are open. And so pretty much with like a 2-foot step, you could fire right. Yeah, you could drill him. Go right between the wyvern and the cleric.
Don't need to be worried about hitting.
I'm going to say that any ranged attack, you don't have to worry about being at disadvantage because they're both on the backside of Brugnor.
We're gonna just throw a firebolt at him.
All right.
Does he have a save?
Well, that was 2d10 was the damage, I believe.
What do I need to roll?
So you would roll a d20 and add your spell attack modifier to it. Let me double check.
Nice.
That's better.
Crit?
That definitely hits.
Okay, I see the way that it goes.
So you do 5 points of damage. And did you want to do anything else?
No, I'll stay there.
Okay. Sun Moon.
3, 4, 5. Crap.
Every time you do that, you sound like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I'll repeat. I was going to use a gladiator feature, but I have to retreat first to scare the whole party off. Punchy.
Alright. 17 hits for 6 bludgeoning.
Then I will do that 2 more times.
Alright. 10 misses, 21 hits. For another 10 bludgeoning.
Then I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move there, and I'm done.
So, oh no, you have mobility.
Correct.
So, all right, Dubisa.
Alright, I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. Step out shadow, shoot him with my crossbow, step back into the shadow.
Okay.
Is the plan. Ready? Here we go.
That hits.
Nice.
Alright. And then.
So let's see here.
So it's 20.
Ooh, he is on the ropes.
I want to kill him.
So close.
Rather than hide, what are my other options? Because I'm so used to hiding.
So let's see here. Hide. Well, you can disengage.
Can I shoot him again?
Maybe. Let me take a look.
Or is it just not an action to reload?
So what kind of crossbow do you have?
I have just a crossbow. Oh, a hand crossbow.
Okay, so then yes, when you use the attack action and attack with... Oh, no. No, you couldn't. So with Crossbow Expert, you ignore the loading property for crossbows. Being within 5 feet of a hostile creature does not impose disadvantage on your range attack roll. And when you use the attack action to attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with a hand crossbow you are holding. So if you would have stabbed him...
Oh, if I stab... So next time if I stab first and then shoot?
Right.
Instead of shoot first. Got it. Okay.
It doesn't say one-handed melee weapon. Isn't her hand crossbow a one-handed weapon?
That's true.
It's just like double assassin style.
John, you're going all John Wooey on us. Yeah, go ahead and make another
crossbow sideways.
Go ahead and make another crossbow attack. It's not like this guy's going to be able to do anything either way.
Okay, I'm doing that then.
Okay.
Attack again. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Crits.
Wow.
Blast through his head into the wall on the other side of the room.
Yeah, that was a little bit of overkill.
It's one bolt to each head.
Or just tack them together.
Right between the pairs of eyes.
Nice.
You fire and then instantly reload and fire. You just hold the trigger down and just pull the arrow back and shoot it like it's a slingshot. And the arrow goes through one head and stabs into the other, and Brugnorb falls to the ground.
Poor pirate. I'm searching for a rum.
So you guys find that in this room, you find that the Eaton had a treasure pile that was hidden under a untidy heap of treasure that was covered by a filthy, flea-ridden pelt of some kind. The pile contains, and I'm going to type it out because that just seems easier, 2,900 copper pieces.
Woo!
Because, everybody loves pennies. There's 130 electrum pieces. An ivory statuette of an elephant that is worth 80 gold pieces. And a pair of gold bracelets that are worth 30 gold pieces each. You guys can divide that up however you want.
We haven't really been tracking how to split up our hauls thus far, other than the occasional fancy item.
Well, keep in mind that Zarm is new, and as far as any weapons or magic items that you guys find, is pretty naked. And Sun Moon, while he has an idea that he can present to the party, this is a good room to do that in if you want.
Who's carrying the spear?
Me.
Is anyone using the spear? Because I like pointing things too.
It'll make you evil though. It'll make you get a character flaw.
Oh yeah, isn't it like an alignment shift?
It's not necessarily an alignment shift, but it does impose a flaw.
Well, if they can tell me about the flaw, I might already be flawed like that.
That's true.
So that your word, you don't have any honor, and your promises mean nothing. That's what I recall the flaw being.
It basically turns you into a cutthroat pirate. You just don't care.
So the exact flaw. So this is a legendary item. It is called Wind Vane. The flaw is I break my vows and plans. Duty and honor means nothing to me. Yar.
Trying to decide if that's really changed for me or not.
No, you seem pretty noble with your punching, and it sounds like you have to stop playing your jazz flute.
Why is a jazz flute noble? It's the worst instrument in existence.
No, but it's so classy, and you'll have to let it go.
Who was the hero that played the violin during the burning of Rome? I mean,
Hey, that's why the flute is better.
Well, I'll take it.
It's beautiful jazz flute.
I'll think about that. I'm not asking for it right now. I thought it was interesting that a weapon wasn't being used that maybe I could take advantage of. So I'll think about the downside and we can go on.
Like the elephant.
I thought about taking it for my character, but he's kind of all about keeping promises, so I was like, yeah, it's not going to work.
Alright, so onomatopoeia, you want the elephant? I'm okay with that. I think I pocketed some rubies, or a ruby ring at some point recently, so that works for me.
I'm fine. I'm a monk. I don't keep a lot.
I'll take my cut on the election, but I'm fine with everything else, including the pennies.
I guess Zarm's going to get 2,900 copper pieces. That's true, right? It's funny because we were talking last night, and the players in my Friday night game, they're like, "Oh, there's copper pieces." I throw them down the hall. And we were talking about back when we were kids. It was kind of a choose your own adventure book series, but it was called Sorcery by Steve Jackson, and there was a spell in the spell book that actually used a copper piece as its material component, and it did a lot of damage.
Nice. So then in that case, is everyone happy with their...
Yep.
I'm good.
Okay.
So I'm going to move everybody into the room. All right, so that's what... So is Sun Moon going to take Wind Vane?
Not right now.
Okay.
I'm just not sure he wants to be evil.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily be evil. I mean, kind of a dick, but not necessarily evil.
Not 100% a dick.
Yeah.
Nobody's 100% dick.
Well, you say that. Yeah. So yeah, if you change your mind on that in the near future, please let me know. Because spears are a monk weapon, so.
Well, if we're comfortable with his flaw, I don't have any problem with taking now. We just can't trust him to do anything then. But then we can't trust me to do anything either, and that's just not
That's
even...
crazy talk.
That's just permanent.
Well, maybe I'll carry it for an emergency and punch things until I come upon an emergency.
Yes, please do. I'm waiting to stop it.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
So Jeff, do you with your D&D Beyond, do you have the actual adventure books?
Probably I just added Wind Vane. I'll need to attune it if I'm going to.
So you have you have all the stats for it then?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, because it's a +2 weapon, air mastery, Song of the Four Winds. Yeah, which I'm sure that if you get to an air node, your jazz flute will come in handy for Song of the Four Winds.
I can hold the spear next to the jazz flute to play.
You were destined to carry this. So out of this room, there is a door leading out to the north.
Like, if a guy walked up on me carrying a flute and a big spear, like, I would think twice about messing with that guy.
Right?
The spear makes sense, but the pan flute.
Yeah, that just means he's crazy.
Like, I don't want any part of this. I gotta go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go into this room quietly or loudly?
I'll do a stealth check to peek in the door.
Okay.
You think there was a bunch of rockets out here, they probably already know it.
Yeah.
Soft ready.
Soft 20. So you peek open the door, and you see, sorry, the wrong thing. You see nothing.
The perpetual void, horrifying darkness.
You see a hallway, and nobody's there.
Give me 1 second.
Hold on just a moment. I will be right back.
You won't hear that.
No kidding.
All right. So what would you like to do from here?
Going through, or first, are we going through? And if so, who's going first?
Let's
So
go
if
with
I
follow
follow
goes through again.
1, 2, 3, 9.
Just kidding.
Okay.
Looks dangerous, you go first.
I know. Not.
I will be.
I will follow.
I will actually ride the back of the woodburn
Okay.
and we will stomp down the hall together.
Okay.
Zubiyasa still has bear's endurance.
So from here, you can smell. You can smell the smoke. The air is very filled with the scent of iron, and there's a smoke floating through the air, and you can hear the clanging of of machinery and hammers beating on anvils, and it's considerably warmer in here. You are near a forge.
And that's looking out towards the chasm-looking area, or to the left?
So when you look, what you can see is you can see that this hallway that goes to the east, right here, is the edge of that chasm.
Yeah.
But this entire area is filled with smoke and the scent of iron, and you can hear the clanging of echoing from very nearby of machinery and hammers on anvils. And from here, you can see a reddish glow, a dim reddish glow is lighting up the northern part of this passage.
Okay. Oh, to the west of us.
To the west of you. Yeah, that's true. You guys did move up there. So when you turn and you look to the west, you can see that there is what looks to be a large central basin in the next room that is filled with water.
How tall are the ceilings in here?
They are 15 feet high.
I will take the wyvern and go up and fly out around the chasm for a quick second and see if I can get a better peek from that direction.
Okay, so
I will fly to maybe like around here and take a look.
okay.
I would like to make a stealth check, and then go peek there.
Can I fly my wyvern stealthily?
No.
Flat, quiet, flat, casual.
So that is what you can see with your wyvern, and coming from here, that reddish glow and the smoke is thicker from right here.
Okay, I will go back to the party and relay that information.
Okay.
What direction do you guys want to go? And how do you want to go there?
Sunny, what did you see?
I was waiting for Chris to come around to my movement section, room 13.
All right, so room 13.
I would like to stand behind somebody bigger.
Any critters?
Possibly. Water fills a rectangular marble basin in the middle of this hall, and the walls display an ancient frieze that circles the room. The frieze depicts woodland images of deer, bears, and game fowl, along with parties of dwarven hunters. The southeast corner of the room is badly damaged, and the walls here are little more than rubble. And that's all that's in this room. There is a door, there is a passageway that leads to the north. There is a door that leads to the north, right there. There is a door that leads to the east, and there is a door to the south.
I will describe that to the group.
And then hanging out by the pool.
Am I still hidden, or do I need to re-stealth?
No, you're still stealthed.
Okay.
Sure.
Actually, since I looked around that one area, I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
I'm having trouble keeping up.
Make sure that you're on the left-hand side. That you're the select move icon
Yeah.
selected. It's not wanting to let you move them.
No.
Sometimes I have to restart.
I'm getting. Oh wait, there you go. Did someone
Well, I moved you.
for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's happening.
It could just be a connection issue. It could also be that, there's 3 million nerds that are all connected to Roll20 right now trying to get their fix. So.
Alright, fair enough.
So, yeah, I'll get dismount the weapon, walk to that door, and do a listen check through there.
Okay.
Since I have an idea something's going on over there.
Okay. Go ahead and make your perception check.
14?
So you can hear the sound of machinery and hammers on anvils very loudly coming from behind the stone door. And so all of the stone doors, well, not I say all of the regular doors in the temple are made of stone, and they pivot on a central axis. So when you open a door, it opens in the middle and creates a 3-foot gap on either side.
Weird.
That's pretty typical dwarven construction. Evidently, dwarves are really shitty at making doors.
That makes sense. I'll do a stealth check to peek through that door.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. Oh, 25.
Okay. So you peek through the door, and the first thing that you immediately see is that there are 2 Duergar in here, and they are working on metal items, crafting armor, crafting weapons. They don't notice you at all and are just hammering away on anvils. And when you crack the door, like the heat that comes out of this room, you can actually see the air waver. It's fairly hot in there. It is an active forge.
Nice, extreme conditions.
Somebody got a ring of fire protection last time, I believe.
I think, didn't Sun Moon get the fire protection ring?
Yes.
Or fire resistance?
Fire resistance.
Yes.
I have a potion of it for anybody that...
It's not hot enough in there. I mean, unless you decide to go roll around in one of the forges in the hot coals. It's not hot enough walking into the room that you're going to take damage from that, but it's very warm in there.
Okay, just throwing it out there.
I will turn and use my sign language skill to kind of convey, like, 2 people in there. You want to kill them?
Again, Drugger.
I come over to get a closer look at the sign language.
It's basically like...
The universal sign language for do you want to kill the guys is like slash across the throat and then
The merits of going in there and killing them are being hashed out. I'd like to check out the southern door
Okay. Hold
in
on
that alcove
just a moment.
and sneaky stealth it open.
So the south door. So you got 22 for your stealth.
I got a 12 for my stealth. A 22 is something.
Yeah, that 12's probably tragic, but we'll find out.
But amusing.
But amusing, yes.
There's like random people in the forge room. So can't there just be random people in there too? Not tragic people? It's because I was playing with all my I was looking at my gold bracelets and how they clink together. My new ruby ring from last week. I was playing Sparkly and was not paying attention when I got through the door. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
I had an idea for what I could have been doing during the time that I was down that I'll run by you later.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to tell me what downtime activity you wanted to do while you were in Salmonvale, which they were in Salmonvale for very shortly right before they came here, so.
Oh, then that would actually make sense, because what I wanted to do during my downtime when I wasn't with the group was go back to the people that were in the Salmonvale, my little group, Zentrum.
Oh, the Zentrum, yes.
I was going to track down the ones that were in Salmonville, because I wasn't sure if they were there or if they had moved to the River Guard Keep also. But I was going to track them down and express interest in starting a new Zentrum chapter running out of the ruins underneath the Water Guard Keep.
Oh.
Since it connected to all the different areas, like it'd be an awesome, like literally underground black market tunnel kind of system.
Yeah, we'll explore that more outside of game and see how we can develop that. I like that idea. So
I thought that was fitting.
Yeah, that would work. So Debisa, you crack open the southern door. A wooden torture rack stands in the middle of this room. Manacles hang from the walls, and fiendish hooks, blades, and clamps hang on the back wall.
Back out of that room.
4 cramped iron cages stand in the room's western alcove, occupied by gaunt, dirty humans with blank gazes. In the room's eastern alcove stands 2 double bunks and an iron stove. And when you crack open the door, a stone melder to the south looks up and... Are you still wearing the cultist outfit?
Yes.
He says, when you open up the door, he says, Oh, how wonderful. Have you brought me somebody to interrogate?
Sadly, no.
Well, then what are you doing here?
Pardon?
He says, well, then what are you doing here?
Oh, I wanted to get in on the action. I heard you guys were up to no good. I wanted to come play.
Make a deception check.
Never do I want to be. Give me a moment. Deception.
Ooh. He says, well, I have no work for you at the moment. I mean, unless you want me to interrogate you, I'm sure we could get all sorts of information out of you.
Well, I don't have anything that you don't already know. We're in this together. But I'll go see if I can round someone up for you.
Make a final deception check at disadvantage.
A disadvantage? I can barely do it at advantage. Okay.
Roll 2 20s.
He says, you are very questionable. And he points to 2 of the cultists and he says, Caesar, let's find out who she really is. Roll initiative.
And the way to get a leg up in a cult is to accuse them of being blasphemous. That's how you do it. Because they thought
I don't have a
something.
lot of cult experience. But now I know. What do you mean?
Blasphemer! You know,
I'm not the heretic, you're the heretic.
I don't have the soft skills because I'm used to being able to just hide. I don't have the worldly knowledge.
So, Dubisa, what'd you get for initiative?
I got 13.
Okay. And onomatopoeia?
Got 9.
And Malum?
8.
Wow, that's probably the lowest you've rolled in quite some time.
My bonus was almost as good as my roll.
And Zam got an 18. And Sun Moon is at 21. Alright.
But it didn't seem like fitting considering I'm on the other side of the courtyard looking in another door.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know. They don't know you, but everybody has to be in the stack.
Oh yeah. But I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on over there now?
I hear a shitstorm over my left shoulder. So these guys, he orders these guys into position. You guys are aware of that there's something going on over here. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
I'm going to come over here and make a hide check.
All right, go ahead and make your stealth check.
Not great, but that's what I do.
Okay. Zarm, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move and I'm going to attack. Turkey, I'm not sure exactly how to say that, but basically I'm going to yell into the room very loudly.
Okay. All right, so what are you going to yell?
Close your ears.
Okay.
Mess with us.
Try to get the headphones out.
Basically, it sounds like it comes directly from the video.
Okay. So I am going to count that as a help action. Dubisa, because they are intimidated by you, Dubisa will get advantage on her next attack.
Thanks, dude.
Heldorn. I mean, even his name makes him sound like a dick. He is.
When you're a kid, Heldorn.
I know, like a baby, like.
Is that a little Heldorn?
Horrible.
Okay. Yeah, he'll do that.
He doesn't have to. He can stay over there. It's okay. I don't mind.
He is going to reach out and try to smack you, because even though he's a spellcaster, he really likes to physically smack people.
Right.
He is using a weapon called a Black Earth Rod, and he is going to expend a second level spell slot to deal an additional 3d8 damage should he hit.
Ouch.
Does an 18 hit Dubisa?
Yeah. My AC is like 13.
So that is 6, 11, 14, 17, 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Do I still have the temporary hit points
Yes.
from... Okay. Thank God. Okay, so you said 18?
Yep. And then he steps back to there. Dubisa, it is your turn.
Alright, hold on. Gotta shake off my new flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Let's see. I am going to get myself back into the right movement mode. Try and pick myself up again. There we go. I'm going to try and shoot double crossbows at Hellborn.
Okay. It's close enough. I'm going to say you have line of sight on him.
Okay. And advantage, right?
Yep. So 21 it is. That definitely hits.
Okay. So that's the first shot.
For 6 points piercing. Okay.
I suppose I don't get sneak attack since I'm the person you were engaged with before.
Yeah, he's fully aware of you because you had an interaction with him.
Yeah, but I still gotta ask. Okay, then I'm gonna do him again.
Okay, go for it. And advantage still applies. Oh wait, you had advantage on the attack, so yes, you do get sneak attack. Yep.
I did get sneak.
So 22.
Yep. And your second attack is 19.
Was 22 to hit with
Yep.
19
19 damage. All right. And then, so your second attack, that was your bonus action.
That was.
Yep. So, onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
Let me see. Where am I?
I'm telling you guys, this whole dungeon would go a lot faster if you split the party.
Yeah, we did one encounter.
One of the kids in my Friday night group tried to convince everybody in the group, like, we could get through this dungeon a lot faster and find what we're looking for if we just all split up.
Go 5 ways.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was playing an evil wizard, so.
Yeah, the game will be over real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Guiding Bolt on Hellborn.
Okay, go for it.
It's 19 hit.
It does.
Let's see here.
And so Heldorn is now lit up, and everybody gets advantage on Heldorn because that is a feature of Guiding Bolt.
Guiding
Bolt do anything saves.
And so you do 8 points of damage. And what was your question, Jeff?
Does Guiding Bolt do anything with saves?
No, it just gives everybody else advantage because now he's all glittery and shiny. And then, did you want to do anything else on Onomatopoeia?
Let me think. I took up all my movement. I guess. Let's see. I don't have anything else to do.
Okay. Malum, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna do a stealth to try to shut this door up real quick.
Okay.
10 to shut the door quietly.
Ooh.
With the, no, that's
Nope.
Never mind.
So the door is closed. However, So the door is closed. That's all you know.
Then I will get on the wyvern,
Okay.
and we're gonna do a little hop, skip, jump over here.
Okay.
When we land, I will do a tuck and roll off the wyvern and then place myself here.
Okay.
And I think that is my turn.
All right. So the cultist. Let's see here. So Rajnishi number 1 is going to move there. Waco is going to move there. And David is going to...
Oh, I was going to say, is it Tom Cruise? Is it Tom Cruise?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Babbage.
Yeah, Babbage is going to move there because your 9 was insufficient, Sun Moon. So, first, I will attack Malum.
Would I get an attack of opportunity against that guy? Circle around behind me in a narrow hallway?
Sure, I'll allow that. Go ahead and make your attack of opportunity.
Nah.
Wow!
Nice. Floaty. Thank you.
Since he doesn't have a partner within 5 feet, I get my sneak attack. 12, 13, 17, 34 damage.
Yeah, so you just, as this guy runs past you, you just cut him in half. And the torso and legs land in different positions.
Nice.
Meanwhile, this cultist makes a scimitar attack on you with a 22.
That hits.
I think that's the first time I've ever hit somebody with a cultist. These guys are usually incredibly inept. For 4 points,
Like 13.
4 points of slashing damage.
If you don't you come infected with the cold?
yeah. Their religion is like mummy rot.
Cultivirus.
And this little cultist is going to swing on onomatopoeia. But he only gets an 11.
Yeah, that's below my AC. Wow.
It is?
Yeah.
Wow. For 6 points of slashing damage.
Oh, no, I'm saying, no, it's below, they're rolling below my AC.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying,
First
like,
time somebody's missed.
Yeah,
my AC is pretty low, so I'm like, wow, you're not enough.
yeah, right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, no damage. And it is Sun Moon's turn.
I'm going to move through Malum space.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. Long way around. There's not really a way to do it. Well, I can avoid that cultistly. So yeah, through Malum space to this space, punch this cultist.
Go for it. Yeah, that hits, and that lays him out. He's done.
Then I'll move on to the door to Heldorn.
Well, then I have his name first.
And punch him.
Okay.
Someone needs an ambition hungry.
We need a bard. Said nobody ever.
Is that
No, maybe I'll pick a bard as a multi-class.
That would be awesome.
Trick you. No one needs a bard.
I love bards personally.
That's just because they have feathers in their hats. That's their only deal.
Bard rogue is like my usual preferred class.
Is that 12 hit Heldorn?
No.
3rd hit?
Yes, that hits for 11
My
points.
bonus, and then Stunning Strike DC 16.
Oof. Oof. And he gets a whole whopping 5. So, Heldorn, not only right now is he shiny, but he gets the sleepy icon because he is stunned and can't do shit.
Yep. Till the end of my next turn, and then I'm done.
He is considered incapacitated, cannot move, and can speak only falteringly. Automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls made against him have advantage. Because he is astarted. Zarm, what would you like to do?
I'm going to move here. I'm going to watch this door, and I'm going to save action.
Okay, so are you holding action for anything that comes through the door?
Correct.
All right. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. Okay. All right. Heldorn gets to do nothing.
Yay, Keldorn.
Dubisa, what would you like to do?
Right, I'm gonna double crossbow him.
Go for it.
Like this.
You guys have been whipping through cultists so fast, I actually forgot this guy was still alive. That's how disposable they are. They're the stormtroopers of the D&D universe.
So do we still have advantage?
You don't have advantage on this.
Just against Heldorn.
Yes.
Okay. So that was 11.
And 11 misses.
In that case, I am not going to shoot again. I'm going. Well, I guess I could try to shoot again. I'll shoot again.
Okay.
We won't regret it. 15.
That hits.
All right. For 22.
And he is down and out.
Nice.
All right. Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
I'll try guiding bolt again on the same dude.
Okay. And a 15 misses.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll run away from him.
But the torture rack's all kinds of shiny now.
That's so good. Okay, I ran away a little bit.
Run away a little bit. Just a tiny bit, I'm going to run away. Okay. All right. Malum, what would you like to do?
I will step through the doorway and take a couple pop shots at this guy.
All right.
You have advantage.
Yep.
22.
Yep, that hits him.
And 16 damage on the first attack.
You reach out and stab your sword right through him and drop him. And he mutters something about, Ogremok said that it wouldn't end this way, and dies.
Well, apparently Ogremok lied to you, bro. And I will walk back to my wyvern.
All right. So this room is clearly the torture chamber that you were told about. And there is a group of people. These over here along this wall are cages. And they are short, so everybody that's in the cage either has to sit down or is stooped over. In this cage here, you see a male human and he is pretty much catatonic, and he's stooped over and he shuffles back and forth every once in a while in his cage, but his face is just blank and his eyes are just hollow. He has no idea what's going on. In the first in the first cage, you see a human woman and she looks like she's been abused. In this cage, you see a female dwarf, and she gets excited when you kill Haldorn, and she yells out. She says, "Are you here to help us?" And then in the last cage, you see a half elf who is badly injured, but he's kind of leaning against the corner, and he's just beaten to a pulp, but he still appears to hold himself in like you can tell that he's probably a noble. He won't disdain himself enough to show how badly he's injured. You look at him and you're like, this motherfucker's dying.
So I do have Mass Healing Word. It's like a third level spell. I could do that for all the people in cages. I think that wise.
Okay.
I start searching Haldorn, and I indicate to the prisoners they all now owe me a halfling life debt.
So Haldorn so on Haldorn, all you find on him is a key. Make an investigation check.
I used up my third level spell, so
I am not an investigator.
I'm gonna investigate
Okay.
I got
as well.
8.
Nice.
I got 8 HP.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heal the prisoners for 8 HP. They're still the doors on the cages are all locked. But Dubisa, with your investigation check over here, you find a wooden chest.
Okay.
And it is locked.
It is locked. Alright. Well, before I do anything with the chest, do we want to see if Haldorn's key opens the human cages or the people cages? So I assume now that we've healed them, we want to let them out?
Yeah.
So
the
key that you find on Haldorn,
Feeling better, deuces.
the key that you find on Haldorn does indeed unlock the cages.
We can tell them how to get to Riverguard Keep too. Over there. Yeah.
It sounds like the dwarf is with it enough. The female dwarf.
The female
Enthusiastic about our arrival.
The female
Should be able
dwarf.
to get them to Riverguard.
When you let them out, the female dwarf is named. She says that her name is Wilgretta, and she warns you that the woman in the first cage was named Orna and is actually a Black Earth guard who had been brought to the torture chamber because she dared to strike a Black Earth priest for offending her, and she's not to be trusted.
Okay. Let's see.
So I take back my healing word, and I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds.
I have Zone of Truth if anybody's like worried about trying to figure out who's telling the truth or not.
I can also cast Detect
Cool.
Calls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick on the wyvern in order to watch the far door to make sure nobody's coming out of the anvil room, the blacksmith area.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna come in. One second. Okay, I lose concentration on the enhance ability.
Okay.
The concept. Constitution is off of dubious. I
So,
will
yeah.
I will cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, so who are you detecting thoughts on? Are you detecting thoughts on Orna or Wulgreta?
So for the duration, I can read thoughts of certain creatures, cast a spell as my action on each turn until the spell ends, and focus my mind on any one creature that I can see within 30 feet. So I can look at all of them in a minute.
Okay, so they get... They get a wisdom saving throw. So the first thing that you you recognize is that Wulgreta bypasses her saving throw and just lets you read her thoughts. And you learn that she's a dwarf commoner who was captured while prospecting in the hills near the Sacred Stone Monastery. And meanwhile, Orna does try to save and gets an 18 on her saving throw. So I think with an 18, all you can detect are surface thoughts.
Correct. So I can tell whether or not she likes or dislikes this for the most part.
So surface thoughts and emotions, what you can detect is that you can determine that Wulgreta is not lying, that Orna is greedy and brutal, but you also can detect that she is now enraged against the cult.
Oh, cool. That's good news.
Right. So like we can't trust her for anything other than doing harm to the cult.
Right. Yeah, just,
Cool.
I mean, it's a case of enemy of my enemy is my friend, but she's still not to be trusted.
Okay.
We can send her in the room with some of ours. She'll probably get caught up there, but do some damage on the way. We can try and recruit her temporarily. We just make some of the rest of the room.
So
Sounds good. Help us help.
So Orna, I mean, she knows that you're trying to read her thoughts, and she tells you that the room to the north is the Stone Forge, and she says that the Stone Forge is under the control of a Dao named Zarvadim, and this female Dao. Zarvadim has two Duergar who assist her in her forging. And she tells you that Zarvadim was summoned, and she was summoned by Marlos Ernrail, who is the leader of the Black Earth cult, and that she has been ordered to forge weapons of war for the cult. And basically that order is forge us weapons until I tell you to stop forging us weapons.
They're kind of like the genie that was a slave that ran into another time.
Right. Yeah, this is exactly the same kind of deal. Where in the Cult of the Crushing Wave, you found a genie that had been summoned, and their entire purpose was to reshape stone blocks, move them to the other place. The difference is that genie had been summoned because that genie had gifted a horn of summoning to the Bel Tassir dwarves over 2,000 years ago, and that Arisi Kalanoth, or not Arisi Kalanoth, Arisi Kalanoth had used the horn to resummon the genie to basically continue the same work that the dwarves had it doing, but to do it ceaselessly and tirelessly. This genie is never had any kind of deal with the dwarves.
They're doing it voluntarily, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's more or less enslaved to work here.
Okay. I want to take a long rest before, if we go fight. I just want to get this spells back, that's all.
I want to check the wooden box for any trap mechanisms, and then I want to open it.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay.
I will come watch in case it explodes, so I can bathe in its fiery blast.
And point and laugh at the rogue. So your 19 investigation check, you don't find any traps.
Okay, so then I would like to open it, and I don't have lockpicking specifically. Did we decide that's
So it's dexterity. You still have proficiency with lockpick with these tools. So it's your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay.
I can pick lockpicking. I have a lockpicking set.
Yeah, and don't you have expertise in lockpicking?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I can lockpick.
Yeah, so he's got double his proficiency if you want him to do it.
Okay,
I can hit it with a fireball.
just out on the marker. No.
I can hit it with a rock.
I can punch it till it breaks.
Give praise to it, that should be something.
So yeah, Malum, go ahead and make your lockpicking check.
18?
Yeah, you get the lockpick and you open it up, and inside you find 230 silver pieces, a pouch of 6 azurites that are 10 gold pieces each. Let's see here. A suit of black earth guardsman's plate armor. It was Orna's. You find Gerver, who is the half-elf noble. You find his studded leather armor. And you find... Oh, and Gerver's longsword. And you find a wand of magic missiles. Zarm's like, a wand? What?
I know wands.
I like wands.
Just start calling you Harry.
Is there anything special about Gerger's studded leather armor? Or
Nope.
is it
It's just regular studded leather. And his longsword is just a regular longsword.
Oh, okay.
So now that the half-elf noble has been healed some, between him, if we rearm and armor him and the dwarf to be relatively healthy, then they can definitely get everyone
Oh, yeah.
to the keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I suggest we return his stuff. Maybe he can eventually get us some sort of like certificate of endorsement later or whatever to get us into fancy pants places. And
I can hope to have like that.
yeah, get your halfling like that, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
It's a thing, I'm sorry.
I'll fit right in upper crust society. Great.
And yeah, I think this fine with me for Zarm to take the wand.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Zarm doesn't have to make an Arcana check to use it, so, yeah.
And then you want to just divvy up. The Black Earth armor, I'm assuming that's human size as opposed to human size?
Yeah, it belongs to Orna, who was in the first cage.
Who's normal size. So,
Yes.
who wants the armor that is dirt?
The dirt armor.
The fancy mud dirt armor.
I'm not going to take any of that. None of it is for me.
I mean, I'll take it if someone else wants it. It's any good.
I have no use for armor either.
Will it fix you?
Yeah, it's plate mail armor.
But isn't it the kind that's like wood, or not wood, muddish looking? And
Yeah, it's basically it's iron loops that have stone plates fitted into them.
Okay. So does anyone want armor? I feel like I can't put it on because I'm going to be stealth checking everything and I don't want disadvantage.
My loves to wear it. I don't know what kind of armor person loves to wear it. I'm kind of limited.
I think clerics can wear heavy if they want.
So, Zarm, do you have stats for the Wand of Magic Missiles?
I just pulled the basic one.
Yeah, it's got 7 charges. One charge, you cast a first level version of the spell. You can increase the spell slot level by 1 for each additional charge you expend. The wand regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. If you expend the wand's last charge, you roll a d20. On a 1, the wand crumbles into ash and is destroyed.
Yep, I did it.
Yep.
Cleric can use light and medium armor and shields.
Okay, so I can't take this one, or...
Yeah,
Dwarf, I think dwarves get heavy for free.
she's a Kenku.
Yeah, I'm made over, so I can take it. I got some scrolls earlier, so that's still good. I still have some cool spells to use.
Okay. Well, it sounds like the armor doesn't work for any of us. Bummer.
Orna raises her hand. She's like, I would be willing to take my armor.
Should we rest and then head northward and fight down?
Sure.
Yeah, let's send everyone but the turncoat.
I'm fine with
And
giving
then
them
have
some
armor.
but do we want to give them back their weapons?
I think we can take them if necessary. That's all.
That's true.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys bar this north door and take a long rest.
I will stay outside with my wyvern.
Okay.
Well, the wyvern can't fit through the door.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good point. Yeah.
So since he can't come in, I'll stay out there and keep watch.
Okay.
I don't need to take a long rest. I've only used, I'm only down like 10 points.
Okay.
I will use my second wind to replace those 10 points though.
Okay, you can do that. Wow. So yeah, you guys are able to complete a long rest, and there is no nobody comes by to interrupt your sleep.
Probably just use that creature.
Nobody ever came out of the blacksmith area?
No.
That's good.
Probably not a lot of traffic in the torture chamber.
Yeah. You would hope not.
I will be right back.
Same here. I am going to grab a drink. One of our viewers suggested that for the copper pieces you could use heat metal on the copper and throw it at people.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're taking a brief break to replenish our drinks, we are a gaming group from Troutdale, Oregon that usually we meet in a shop called Going Gaming. And right now, with the pandemic going on, Going Gaming has had to shut down all of their services, and so that means all their D&D games have been canceled. Magic the Gathering tournaments are canceled. The only thing that they're able to do right now is they can deliver food from their restaurant section called the Grub and Grog. They do also deliver games, and I believe they even deliver beer. But that's not enough for them to keep going, so they are really hurting from this entire lockdown situation. So we've created a GoFundMe called Help Save Going Gaming, because they are a cornerstone of the gaming community, at least here in the Portland metropolitan area, and we would all like to have someplace to land when this eventually blows over. We are taking donations. It doesn't matter how small it is. If you can donate, we really appreciate it. Just scroll down in the Twitch stream and you should see a link at the bottom. We also have links to a couple of our friends, Talon and Claw, who are makers of beautiful wooden DM screens and dice trays, and they have a full line of leather dice trays that are amazing. And right now they have a sale going on where it's 10% off everything in their Etsy store, so you might want to check them out. The other friend of ours is the Gilded Archive. She makes these absolutely gorgeous leather covers for the core rule books, and they are all handmade, hand-stitched, hand-painted, the whole 9 yards. She absolutely is a beautiful member of the D&D community. She has come up with a series of leather bracelets that are polyhedral dice, and one of the popular ones is the rainbow dice, or multicolored polyhedral dice on the bracelet. So you might want to check her out as well. So we're still waiting on Dubisa. So yeah, I think this game's running a lot smoother now that I've figured out Fog of War and the GM layer and all of that.
Yeah, just being able to draft your creatures in advance is a fairly significant time.
Yeah, it makes things run a lot smoother. And I like the fact that I can hide or reveal any section of the dungeon. That definitely helps.
General question, who's is the wyvern?
That is Mount.
That would be mine.
Well,
It has feathers, correct?
No, it is a dragon, but it doesn't have the front limbs. It is more like a dragon from Game of Thrones, where the front limbs go up into the wings.
Kind of very bat-like.
Yeah. And it's got a scorpion stinger on his tail. And
Yeah. I just eat feathers from a beast.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
well, you got a Kenku. She can you can pluck a feather.
Ow!
Talk about need for consent.
I just keep following her, and as she gets hit, I pick up the feathers.
Yes. Every time Onomatopoeia gets hit, she sheds feathers.
I didn't grow my pillow. Made genuine feathers.
You're like, stop following me.
All right. So, where do you guys want to go from here?
North. The Great North Region.
Gonna go tackle that north door. All right.
Are you talking about the forge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can go do that.
Okay. Okay, so how are you guys going to do this? Are you going to try to sneak in again, or just open the door? Okay.
Leroy Jenkins.
Guns blazing.
Just kidding, let's not do that. I'm gonna stay in the back and shoot stuff at it magically. And heal people either. That's what I always do. Unless somebody has a better plan. I don't know much about cow, actually.
I will totally walk in there like I own the place.
Okay. So go ahead and move yourself in there.
I will follow like he owns me.
So, yeah, let's see here.
Right up in the right there. Spots.
Just walk in. What's up, my glip glops?
Might not striking your way, then.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So none of us can get in.
Move it to the left a little bit, just a little bit left.
Like when you're the sniper in Battlefield and you're playing with a noob who stands right in front of you. It's like, thanks, Dick.
I poke the wall with magic missile.
And Irvine, Ramsey Rock, Eroding Earth, and Dust Devil Scrolls to use. So I'm gonna club up with all those.
So, to describe the room one more time, a forge stands in the middle of this room surrounded by piles of firewood. Two big anvils stand close by, and hammers, tongs, and other smithing tools are scattered around several workbenches along the chamber's walls. There are doorways to the west and the south. You're coming in there, the southern door. But the eastern end of the room opens up into a dark chasm. You see towards the eastern end of the room, you see this large dhow hovering and working on creating a beautiful set of chainmail armor. And you see these two Durgar who are hammering away, making weapons, and they all just kind of look up at you, and Zarvadim, the dhow, looks up and she says, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I don't know, I'm just kind of wandering around, checking the place out, thinking about moving into the neighborhood. Like, potential neighbors. Like, how's it going? What's up?
School's good?
She says, "Oh, you're moving in, huh? Oh, okay. That is okay with Zarvadim. Unreal has not paid me to fight any puny mortals. He can look after his own slaves. I don't care."
Are the Durgar in chains?
No. They just look up and they're like, and they just keep hammering away.
Oh, cool. So this wasn't an enormous fight like I thought it was going to be. I guess we should shut the door or... what do I see when I look down the hallway over here?
I'll ask them if they take custom orders. And
She says, Um, well, I'm not really allowed to do any custom orders, you see, but Zarvadim has some other stuff. I mean, you're wearing cultist robes. What you take, I mean, I'm making it for the cult, so what you take, it belongs to you.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
I'll point out the door and be like, well, I want to get some stuff for him, and point to my wyvern.
Oh.
I want to deck him out.
Oh, Zarvadim hasn't done any barding for a draconic creature in a while.
What kind of armor is laying around here that we can take? You said it's something scale.
So, so when you look down the hall, you just see this empty hallway that goes to the north, and you see a door that you can imagine goes into the forge where the rest of where Sun, Moon, and Malum currently are.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Did you want to move into the forge as well and ask Zarvadim what kind of armor is available?
And I was in there for a second, and then I wandered away. So I guess I didn't hear anything about the armor being available. I just heard that they didn't want to fight me, and then I left. So just ignore me.
Well, Zarvadim, she finishes working on clamping down on a link of chain on this chainmail, and she holds it up, and it is +2 chainmail with that is like a black burnished color. It says, "Here's a suit of chainmail, medium-sized creatures." And she just lays it down on a table.
Are there any spears around?
Probably.
Yeah, non-evil spears.
Yeah, just practice spears.
The anti-douchebag spears.
Yes, there is a spear. And it is a +1 spear.
I will go take it, since we are entitled to it according to her.
Okay. There are a number of scimitars on the wall and daggers as well.
Chainmail, yeah. That's too heavy for me. I can't wear the chainmail.
No, but onomatopoeia could.
Oh, did I hear my name? Okay,
Yes.
No.
Is chainmail medium armor?
It's heavy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I'm sorry. I always get the two mixed up. And it's a chain shirt. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm on, is the chain shirt.
So yeah, it's a +2 chain shirt.
Yeah, she can take it. That she needs it.
Hey.
What's getting it for you?
Isn't the Dow the ventilator for the forge?
No. She is just a earth elemental genie.
I'm just looking for coal.
Oh, there's plenty of coal in here.
I'll snag some coal and then see if I can ask them if they can turn some of the copper into wire and copper pieces.
Okay, tell them we're from OSHA. So yeah, you get some coal. There's gonna be some kids with some stockings that are gonna get stuffed.
And if I heard right, she said that the person didn't pay for draconic work. I'll ask how much that difference would be. How much would that cost?
Well, she says that normally she'd be able to give you an answer to that, but she says, currently I am presently under, oath in order to only forge things for Unreal.
So if he wasn't around, we might be able to work out a deal?
That could be a possibility, yes.
I will we'll be back within the next day or two.
Let me go kill him. I'll be right back.
Off chance, do you happen to know where he is?
Make a charisma check. You can go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. 18.
So she tells you, she says that she goes, well, you guys have been pretty kind to Zarvadim, so I can tell you that the last time that I knew that where he was is that he was to the north of here, as far as you can go.
Good to
Right.
know.
Let's go north then.
Shoot, the gun finger's black.
Shoot him again.
The social distancing hello. Yeah. So you guys have a hallway to the north, and there is a door going to the west.
On the west door, you haven't looked in it.
I didn't have great luck the last time I did this, so maybe someone else should go.
Listens.
I'll try, I'm gonna listen at the door.
Okay.
If I hear you.
Go ahead and make a perception check. So Sun Moon got a 22. Wow, both of you got 22s. So yeah, you can hear the sound of trying to think of what these sound like. You can hear the sound of grunts and they're having a conversation. There's some minor conversation going on, but again, it is in a language that you're not. I think you're not aware of. What languages do you both speak?
Speak Common and Aran, but I can repeat the language to the other people.
Yeah, so then-
That's true.
Yeah, if any of us speak it, we can figure it out.
I speak common halfling and I'm real sophisticated.
Same.
Common, draconic, and
Oh, common and sign language.
So no, none of you understand it. You do with your 22, you do recognize that this is likely giant.
Oh, wow.
It's giant with some broken common thrown in.
Pigeon giant.
It's Spanglish, but you know, in giant.
Shall we leave Jenkins the room?
It's up to you, man. I don't know.
Oh, before we do, I'm gonna stealthily go down here and peek around the corners.
Okay.
I had never encountered a giant. I don't know. Really about that.
Well, I rolled a nat 1, so I don't think I was too stealthily about peeking around that corner.
As long as no one is actually there, we are still okay.
Ooh, look over there.
You
He
come running
said,
back.
"Nervously."
Just be sure you say choo choo when you come running back.
Like, I totally went to peek and just fucking fell on my face.
Walk down the whole hallway. Sneak, 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 sneak. Saying that loud. I like that.
So you go down and you check out to the east. The hallway goes, and you see that it ends at the end of this chasm that has bisected part of the temple. When you look to the west, there is a platform in the center and a large, very large staircase that goes down. It drops down 10 feet, and then there's a platform, drops down 15 feet, there's a platform, drops down 20 feet, there's a platform. It goes down into darkness, into the base of the earth.
Okay. Go down here and convey that to people.
Well, I think we're definitely going north next.
So, what are you going to do with this door?
Well, I mean, are we still looking for anything? Like, are we still looking for anything else? I mean, I feel like we all know we need to go north. Is there anything else we're trying to find? Because if there's not, like, a missioning thing we need to find, I say we leave the grunting giant, it may lead people to their business behind the door and move north.
Okay.
That would be my vote. As a small creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, if there are objections to that plan of pursuing north instead of going through the door,
I'm fine with the party.
Yeah, let's move north.
All right. Go to the end of the hall. So yeah, you look to the west, and there is this massive staircase that goes down into darkness, and the hallway continues to the north here. And then around the western corner, you see that the hallway continues to the north that way as well. And you can see that there is a door leading into a room to the west.
You listen to that door?
Okay.
While he's doing that, I will go down and look around this corner.
Okay.
Keeping the wyvern a little ways behind me so he's not making too much noise.
And you see that the hallway up here goes to the north, kind of does a zigzag, and there is another door on this side leading into the same room.
And I will continue creeping down the hallway.
All right.
I
So-
wait for that door, and I'll do a listen check on that door after everybody else has done their thing.
Go ahead and make your listen check now, because Sun Moon also made a listen check, so...
14?
Okay. So you are having a hard time hearing anything through the stone door. Sun Moon, you get a little bit better. You can hear a little bit. You can hear the sound of like a metal fork on a metal plate, and you can hear some minor conversation going on, and you can hear the faint sound of somebody quietly like praying to themselves. And it's all in common. But you can't really make out too much of the conversation, but you can tell that there's a number of people in here casually having a conversation.
I'll relay that to the group and ask them if they want to investigate more, but it sounds like a metal object, maybe something sliding or moving, and some people in calm prayer maybe. Do you want me to kick in the door? Kick in the door.
if that'll satisfy your need to kick, cool. I kind of feel like at this point, the more rooms of people we don't disturb, if they're not, I don't know, plotting our destruction, the better. Like, we're just let them be. If they're just doing their thing, there's not torturing sounds there. There's not.
Maybe it's prayer torture.
I don't like leaving people behind me with no intentions. I don't like being surrounded.
Crazy. Okay.
So you kicking in the door?
No, not yet.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm just gonna wait here and see if I hear rustling at some point in the door from you guys.
If I hear somebody yell, "Oh shit!" from around the corner of the hallway, I'll open the door.
In the distance, you hear Leroy Jenkins.
Yes.
Hold off. That's why I asked for soliciting opinions.
I'll ask if we are, and before we do, I want to cast a spell.
I think we can move on unless someone else is going to kick the door open. I can listen to directions for a while till I disappear.
I'm hesitant to try and stealth it open because I failed so miserably last time, and then we had to fight. But I'll try again. I'll try and peek in.
Okay.
Kick it down.
Peek in. Gentle kick.
Attack. Just tab it in. Okay.
That's actually pretty good. So you tap it in. And this room appears to be a clean, neatly organized bunk room. The sparse furnishings include 6 double bunks arranged against the south and east walls and a wooden table with several chairs in the north half of the room. An ironstone with a tidy pile of firewood stands near the middle of the room. In the southwest corner, an arrow slit looks out at a dark passageway. Doors lead to the east and west. In the corner, so the arrow slits are here and here, but nobody's manning them. And you see that this guy here is sitting at this table, and he's got a soldier's mess kit, and he's got with a metal fork or spork, and he's sitting there eating some beef stew. And you see these two guys are sitting on their bunks just kind of talking to each other. This guy is over here shuffling a deck of cards. And in the back corner, you see a Black Earth priest reading quietly their spell book and reading to themselves.
So the metally sounds were like silverware in his mess kit while he shoveled food in his face?
Correct.
He's not quiet.
He's a sloppy eater. He's like,
Does anyone feel the need to go in?
Unless somebody's hungry.
I have no need to go in if that's... I mean, yeah, I'd love to raise footlockers, but we don't really have time for that.
Well, since I haven't heard anything in a while, I'm going to wander back to the party and see what they're up to.
okay.
Or like there's 4 dudes and a priest and they're having lunch. And
So when the wyvern goes by, Debisa, you can see through this arrow slit, you can see the shadow of the movement. And this guy sees the shadow of the movement and comes over here and can now see Onomatopoeia standing outside. And he reaches down and grabs a crossbow. Everybody roll initiative.
Fun!
Why are we standing in the window?
What did I see? Worst initiative ever seen around.
Yeah, well, at least you're consistent. Yeah, you're consistent.
I was really trying to cast a spell and get it before we did anything.
No.
Crit fail-ish.
Well, you know, Zarm, you get pretty good initiative overall. You may still be able to do that. Oh, jeez.
Initiative. So hold that spell.
Yes.
Everybody ready your action? If we all agree to ready your action.
Malum, what would you like? Or I'm sorry, Malum, what's your initiative?
13.
And Sun Moon, you got a 17.
Yep.
And Dubisa got a 15.
Bisa got 23.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Then that 20.
Let's see here. Zarm got a 2. Wow.
That's the last room I broke into.
Zarm got a rock. And Onomatopoeia got a 5. All right. So, Dubisa, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to step one. My pen. No. Well, since we lost our other prize, I'm gonna walk in just inside the door,
Okay.
and I'm going to fire at him. At this guy.
Okay. That is probably
Okay.
wise.
Get to that place.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And then I'm gonna step out because no one else noticed us, and he's dead.
Fred just drops to the ground suddenly.
Except he's not dead.
He's
So
not dead?
he's not dead. Are you going to shoot again, or are you going to?
I'm gonna hide.
Okay.
Try and hide.
So hold on, that Black Earth Guard took
Me.
40?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see the.
I was crit.
Yep.
41.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. So he dies.
And then but I still hit.
Yep. So you got a 20 for yourself,
But
which effectively makes you invisible to them because.
I'm not right in the door.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sun Moon.
Leroy Jenkins Jr. I charge in the room.
Okay.
And it is our breathing. All the bad guys have to make with DC 16 or be scared.
So they would be under the frightened condition, correct?
Yep. And this is what I do. You need to watch that YouTube.
So the Black Earth guards all get a 19,
Oh, jerks.
and the priest gets a 15.
Do I have to do anything because it says just each creature within 30 feet of you?
I can see. So if I can't see you, then no.
Yeah, you're behind. Yeah, and you're hidden. I'm sorry. What was your spell save DC, Jeff?
16 will.
So the Black Earth priest is frightened.
And I will stand there and continue doing my Hulk Hogan flexing impression.
Oh yeah!
Hey brother, brother doing this to brother.
There's a good frightened.
And playing my terrifying pan flute in between.
Okay. So, yeah, the Black Earth Priest is frightened, which means he has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of his fear is within line of sight. The creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of his fear.
And then I use key point to use the dodge action as my bonus.
Okay. All right. So all attacks against you have disadvantage.
Yep.
All right. Malum, what would you like to do?
I'm going to direct the wyvern to go to this spot and keep guard from anybody coming out the door or coming around that corner.
Okay.
And I will come in. And I will rush across, do a little nice slide across the table, and then attack that guy.
Go for it.
Do an acrobatic slide.
So yeah, you got to do a Dukes of Hazzard hip slide across the table.
16 on my acrobatic hip slide.
Yep.
And then I will stab that guy.
Go for it.
17.
Yeehaw! 17 misses.
Then I will do a NC footwork to maneuver behind him and do a second attack.
Okay.
Hit. And third attack. Yeah, you said that wasn't going to hit, so no, nothing hit.
But you looked really fancy doing all of it.
Just big displays of nothing.
Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do? So you can look through this arrow slit, and you have line of sight directly to these two guys.
Lightning bolt.
A cleric with lightning bolt. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do guiding bolts on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, his arm's going to push out of the way lightning bolt.
Cool.
Yeah, that hits him.
All
right. Yeah, that smarts. And now he's all glowy and shit. So that's a good one. All attacks on this guy are at advantage until the end of Onomatopoeia's next turn. Alright. So, oh, that guy's dead.
I'm gonna move out of sight.
That's a good idea, because I was just about to shoot you in the face. So, this guy... He's going to leap over the bed. Well, maybe. Yeah. Yep. He's going to leap over the bed and come up behind Sun Moon and try to make an attack. He gets 2 attacks with his Morning Star. 17 misses.
Yep.
And an 8 definitely misses.
Yep.
So he's... I guess that could have been even worse. So actually, yeah, it was worse. On his second attack, this bed right here, one of the corners of the sheets wasn't tucked in properly according to military standard, and his boot catches it, and he falls flat on his face, prone.
Perfect.
Nice.
Look at that.
This guy is going to attempt to do the same thing.
Flee does just as well.
22.
That does it.
Finally, jeez. For 6 points of piercing damage. And his second attack, at disadvantage, is a miss with a 5.
Yay.
And this guy is going to attack Malum. Hits with a 24 and hits with a 25.
Ow.
And the total for that is going to be...
Medic. That's what the total is.
I will parry one of them.
a total of 15 points of piercing damage between the two.
I'll still parry one of those. I will parry 10 of that.
All right. And the Black Earth Priest The Black Earth Priest, while shitting her pantaloons, I'm going to move down here, and then oh jeez. So yeah. So Sun Moon, you hear a loud ringing sound. Everybody in that circle needs to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
That doesn't look good.
And the Black Earth Guards failed. And Sun Moon succeeded. So you are going to take half damage. So you take 4 points of thunder damage as she casts Shatter, and these guys are going to eat 9. Oops. Both these guys look over their shoulder at the priest. They're like, what the fuck, man?
That's okay. That priest is going to get royally screwed. Sorry about that die roll.
All right. So it is Zarm's turn. What would you like to do, Zarm?
Go Zarmy. Go Zarmy.
I step into the doorway and cast Fireball.
I may find that.
At the darkness.
Yes, attack
Yes.
darkness.
I have gray eyes.
It says I have blue. I have gray eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast darkness.
Oh, okay. So where are you casting darkness? Okay. So
Basically, we don't want him to cast anything more towards us for the time.
that's a really good idea. I thought you said you were a noob at this. So it is a 15-foot radius sphere. So yeah, it's pretty much. Let's see here.
Is it a point or a square?
Well, 15-foot radius, that's a 30-foot diameter. Let's see.
Yes, I'm basically trying to put it in front of him, but if he moves forward, that he's kind of in it, and he still can't see. So up to where...
Spreads from a point, and then 3 squares either way.
Right.
So you pick the cross of squares.
So basically, it's going to cover this diameter.
Cool.
Correct.
So these bottom 4 squares are all in the darkness. Yeah, like that. That works.
Oh, you're trapped. That's neat.
I can make it even better here. Just do this.
Fill it.
Yeah, there. That is darkness. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
I'll step back out of the room.
Okay.
I step in, I guess. I step out. Pet the bird.
Dubisa, what would you like to do?
Alright, so prone. This guy's prone, right?
Yes, you have advantage on attacks on him.
Advantage on attacks on him.
Of course, you would have advantage anyways because he
everyone
couldn't
else
see
is
you.
engaged.
Yeah. You have advantage on everybody in the room, including some of your own party members.
Well, I don't know about that part.
Not me.
So I'm going to the old step out of shadow, shoot, step back into shadow.
Okay. Who are you shooting?
For
Okay.
that guy.
All right. Go for it. Nope. 13 misses.
But it says
At
advantage.
least I
Oh,
have
yeah,
that.
and you have advantage, so roll again.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yep,
There you
21
go.
hits. Oops.
24 points of damage. Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I step into shadow.
Okay, go and make your stealth check. This guy's reaching back. Ow! Stop it! Alright, so you stealth with an 18. And once again, these guys cannot see you. Especially the guy in the darkness. Sun Moon, what would you like to do?
How's the guy who tripped over his own face looking?
He's not looking like he feels good.
Okay, I'm gonna start rabbit punching him.
Okay.
And he's still prone, so I have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So
20
roll hits.
23 hits. Now he's looking more beat up.
Next rabbit punch to the back of his brain pan.
Yeah, 22 hits. And he's dead.
And I get temporary hit points. Feed me Seymour. I'll take that. Then I will spend a key point to flurry the guy next to me.
Alright. Go for it. Yep, that hits for 9. 16 misses.
Oh, that was advantage. So the 26, not the 16. The 28, not the 12. Oh, no, that guy I don't have advantage against. Sorry.
Right.
So the 26, but not the 12. Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And then I will. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand on his corpse.
I will tap dance on his corpse. Are you going to play the pan flute while standing on his corpse?
Yes.
Yes. You had a question?
And return any temporary hit points. I play the yes flute. Okay, that's all I can do. Before I do another Hulk Hogan entry.
Okay. All right. So, Malum, what would you like to do? You gonna whack this guy again?
Attempt to.
Yeah. I'm not hearing Malum.
I don't mind.
I am.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There.
Oh, I must have bumped my mute button. I'm gonna take my shots at this guy.
Okay.
The first one was a miss. The second one is 18.
That hits.
And 14 damage.
Okay. Yeah, he's not looking healthy at all.
Third attack does not hit again.
Okay. All right. Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
Oh, it was hurting, right? Didn't he do a bunch of damage?
I'm only down like 12.
Oh, okay.
I'm at like 76 total right now.
Okay, so I have to move, like,
Well, you could move here, and you would have line of sight on this guy.
oh, okay. I thought I only had it straight, so, okay, cool. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on that guy then.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Oof.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, he's not feeling so good. And now everybody has advantage on him until the end of Onomatopoeia's next turn. And did you want to do anything else?
Let me see, I'm gonna
Just step to the side.
Go ahead, yeah, next turn.
Okay. So this guy, he's going to move up and engage Malum, and they're going to gang fight him. Uh, 17 to hit,
Nope.
and an 11 misses. And then the next guy is going to do the same thing.
Bob and weave.
16 to hit, and 14 to hit. So they both whiff it. The Black Earth Priest, is the Black Earth Priest still frightened?
Let's see, till the end of my next turn, which has passed. No,
Okay.
he's no longer frightened, he's just in the dark.
Okay. Well, he's a Black Earth Priest, so I'm pretty sure he was in the dark to begin with.
Yep.
So he is going to make a Dex save at disadvantage.
Stop from falling over a bed.
Yep. And fails miserably and falls over this bed and is still in the darkness and is now prone. They have an icon for back pain. Oh, hold on, my back. Zarm, what would you like to do?
I was standing on the table.
Okay.
Oh.
Thunderwave. Okay. So, they need to make con save DC 15. And that's going to affect both of them. Actually, it's going to affect Malum, too.
Shit happens.
What meta magic did you take, Carrie?
What?
What meta magic did you take when you built your sorcerer? There's one that can give another combatant advantage if they're in the area of your spell.
Actually, if he took Careful Spell, he can cause Malum to automatically save and take half damage.
I did not. Sorry.
Okay.
So the two Black Earth Guardsmen got a 14 on their save, so they are going to take 13 points of damage and are pushed 15 feet. But they don't have 15 feet to move, so they're going to take some bludgeoning damage as well.
You're going to get Roxbury with Malum against the corner.
Oh, what was the save on the DC?
15.
And that's a dexterity?
Oh, actually,
Con save.
Oh, con?
Better for you, probably.
16?
yep, you saved. So you only take 6 points of thunder damage, and you are not shoved. But your thunder wave blows these two guys in. This guy here gets blown into the door and dies, and this guy bounces off the wall and ends up over here and dies.
Nice.
Nice.
I raised my arms to the sky and point out. It's much stuff.
Hold my hand to my ear and go, what?
Dubisa, what would you like to do?
Well, seems to me that everybody that I can see is dead.
That's true.
I need an action?
Okay, are you
I'll hold whatever it's called.
holding an action until the priest finally crawls out of the darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. You are holding your action. Sun Moon, what are you going to do?
I will...
Throw some stuff in there. Somebody I didn't make it them.
I will throw my spear in the darkness.
Okay.
I'm going to throw my spear in the darkness.
Go ahead and make an attack roll at disadvantage.
Let's see here. My stat's going to be the same either way. Does the 14 hit?
It does
wherever you
not.
might be in that line?
It does not.
Okay. Then I will run into the darkness and try and find my spear.
Okay. So you
I didn't mean to throw that.
you run into the darkness. Make a dexterity save at disadvantage.
Oof.
Oh. So because you're running,
Over a chair.
you trip not only over the priest, but then bang your shin on the edge of the bed and take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
From my temporary hit points. Do I hear the priest?
Yes, the priest takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage as well.
Success.
Upon hearing the commotion, I'll yell, "You're locked, man!"
Oh, and you are now prone. Malum, what would you like to do?
Yeah. I think I'll just like. I was gonna throw a chair in there, but now he's in there, so I don't know if I want to throw a chair.
I use back pain icon even though you can't see it.
I will walk 5 feet into the first section, like so I'm just barely in it, and just kind of like feel around with my foot carefully to see if I feel something squishy that I can poke.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw, and since you're being careful, moving slowly, I'm going to say that you could just make a normal dexterity save.
Soft 20.
Wow, yeah. The only soft thing that you poke into it, and you can tell that you just stabbed the mattress, though. But you don't trip over anything.
That works for me.
All right.
Slowly in there.
Onomatopoeia, what would you like to do?
I can get in concentration at any time.
Yes.
It all depends on how amusing you're finding it, so.
I'm just sitting back giggling on top of it.
I wonder, since guiding bolts like a light spell, what happens to shooting in the darkness? I'm curious.
Nothing can get rid of. I mean, short of a dispel, nothing can be seen in. Yeah. There. I think there's only like 1 or 2 things that can actually penetrate magical darkness.
Okay. I'm just gonna go out with my wyvern. That seems kind of pointless.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I can look down this hallway. Something's down there.
All right. So you see.
Hallway.
That's what you see.
Oh.
So there's some. You know the immediate thing that you see are 2 large double doors leading to the west.
All right. I suppose that's the end of my turn. Probably.
Okay. Da. So, yeah, you could do that. All right. So he, the Black Earth Priest, rather than move, because he doesn't know anything that's going on.
That's probably my body.
Yep. So Malum and Sun Moon need to make a dexterity saving throw versus DC 13. Okay. And Sun Moon saves. So you both save. You don't take any damage. However, this area, because the floor is stone, this area is now difficult terrain. He cast Earth Tremor, and so the ground in a 10-foot radius rumbles, and because you saved, you didn't fall prone or take damage, but the stonework on the floor is all ripped up and is now difficult terrain. Zarm, what would you like to do?
Okay, I cast a spell called Message.
Called Message?
Direct attack the sorcerer, and I tell them to give up now.
So...
Familiar with the target, even if it's beyond a barrier.
Yeah. Go ahead. Are you do you want to use persuasion or do you want to use intimidate?
They're the same on me, so let's go with persuasion.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he got a 15. You hear him yell out, "To hell with you!"
I drop the darkness.
Okay.
That means I get to shoot him.
And yes. And Dubisa, you get to shoot him.
Hey.
And she gets her sneak attack because there's a threatening creature in the safe spaces.
That's true. Yeah, so you have advantage on your attack.
Alright. I'll take it.
Yes.
Nice.
He's going to take 30 points of damage.
Slam.
And did you want to use your bonus action to make a second attack?
Yes, I do, because I don't think there's much of a need to hide anymore.
Okay.
Is the second attack at advantage too?
Yes.
But not sneak.
No,
Right.
but not. Okay.
But a crit.
So 12 point. Yeah, you kill him.
You're not gonna listen. We'll make you listen.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really liking the double hand crossbow.
You have a new poor taste joke. How many times do you have to punch a Black Earth priest before you listen?
Right. So, in this room, you find a total of 12 gold pieces scattered, that's spread among the corpses, and that's really all that they have that are really worth anything of interest.
I go pick up my spear that clattered against the firewall.
Yes. All right. And I think this is a good spot for us to break for the week. If we want, I assume that you guys are going north. If you want to move up into this position up here,
Sure.
that's where we will pick up next week.
Sounds good. Are we like level 14 yet?
No, no.
Oh, disappointing. That might be level 14 by now.
So, Mr. Carey, I hope you had a good time playing with us.
Yes, this is great.
And hopefully you'll be able to make it again next week.
Cool.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. All 2 of you, I think, is on our list right now. If you have a moment, go ahead and scroll to the bottom of your Twitch screen. You'll see a link to help save Going Gaming. We're trying to save the shop, and any donation is acceptable. We'll take anything. And please go ahead and check out our friends Talon and Claw and the Gilded Archive. They make some beautiful merchandise that is all D&D related. And we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.